Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic video. And this is a very important one if you're doing product research at any stage of your journey. So today we're going to talk about a way where we can track the exact amount of sales that a product is making before we make a buying decision to actually place an order with your supplier. Now, why is this important? Um, I use Jungle Scout to look for products, right? Many of you use Jungle Scout. You might use AMZ Scout or Maze Owl or Unicorn Smasher. All of those guys do exactly the same thing. So what they do is, Amazon doesn't give us the amount of sales per day that a product makes. They just don't release that information to us. But instead, they release the BSR, which is the bestseller ranking. So these are things that you can find on every single Amazon listing. Now, all these companies like Jungle Scout and whoever, they have an algorithm that works out roughly how many units you have to sell in that category to make that and that's how it has that estimate sales, and it gives you the estimated sales. Why then do different companies have different amounts of sales? And it's just down to data. So the reason I use Jungle Scout is because they have the most amount of data, which means they can be more specific with their estimate for the sales. However, they are still estimates. So this trick will easily show you the exact amount that your product is selling. So let's get me down in the corner. You get away down there. So if you saw my video the other day, I did a kind of little video on some really good FBA products that you could potentially look at. Maybe not at the, a few months ago they would have been perfect. At the moment, probably not. So one of them was a dry bag. So we want to find out exactly how many ultra dry adventurer sells per month or per day of ultra dry bag. So the first thing we do is we add it to our basket. Some of you guys, it may be add to cart, but here in the UK, we use baskets. In the basket, check out that. Here we go. And some of you will see plus 10 or 10 plus. It might be different with different different countries, but 9, and you press update. What it will show you then is the seller has only 241 of these available. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then what you do is you go to a spreadsheet 241. Now I've had to do this video 3 times because my Mac ran out of storage, and in that time they've sold 8 units, which is wicked. So you type that in there, and what you do is you do this every single day for a week at the same time every single day, so you know within a 24-hour period how many units they're selling. You can then reference that against Jungle Scout to see how specific it is. So you can see these guys are doing a fair amount every single day, and pretty good product. So that would be perfect. If you could get that at a good price, if it wasn't too competitive, it's probably a little bit competitive now, then that would be a perfect product to go for. Just looking at the sales, obviously we're not looking at anything else. So we also looked at a water bottle. So we literally, I know you've seen the figures now, but you go to the water bottle, you do the exact same thing. This is a different water bottle to the other day, but it doesn't matter. Add to basket, and we go to our basket. Exact same thing, go to quantity, fuck's sake, get out of the way. Plus 10, 999, update. Let's see if they sold any in the last few minutes. 116, so they haven't sold any in the last kind of 5 or 10 minutes or so. You can see 188, 167, they're selling like a lot a day, but then it goes up to 260, down a bit, and then massively drop down to 116. So it's pretty weird, right? What would have happened here is they would have had a restock. So they've had more stock come into one of the Amazon warehouses. Amazon had realized that they don't want them in that warehouse, so they've put them somewhere else. Now, why does Amazon do this? They might do this because to be able to give prime delivery, they need to strategically place the products in different warehouses across the UK, for example, so they can make sure they can get the products to people in time. So this is based upon, again, their algorithms that work it out to be most efficient. So they've decided that actually the warehouse where these ones were held is not where they want them, so they're shipping them to another warehouse, which means they're not going to be available for a short amount of time. That would have been a restock. Now, I don't have a product for this, but for example, a low sales example would be like 50, 50, sell one a day, and then a couple, maybe two more. Bad product, don't ever go for anyone like that. And if you have a seller that is selling a huge amount, so these would be like the best sellers in that category, then what you'll see is that actually it'll say 999 plus. Now, basically what that means is that they have more than 999, and if they are a bestseller, that would be the case. So if this happens, what do? You get an example like let's use the dry bag for example, and you go to a website called Camel UK version, so it's uk.camelcamelcamel.com. You sign up, it's free. Now this service is actually for people that are looking to get a good deal on their products. So if you're a consumer and you're buying something and you want to find out when the cheapest price is or whatever, you can go on here and you can see where the price drops and everything like that. So if we type in dry bag, I think I've actually got it open over here. I do have it open. One we were just looking at. And obviously these guys make their money for affiliate links because you can order it, and that's how they make their money on the site. That's probably when they launched their product, and then they've gone up, they've given it a go at an extra £1, but actually they saw £17 was their ideal selling price. So this is very, look, sales rank, no, earlier when I looked at it. Okay, not to worry, let's actually find a product. So we're shop by department, electronics, phones and accessories, best sellers, SanDisk Ultra. All right, let's just put this one in just because I want to show you what this actually looks like. Cool, my Mac is getting very, very hot. Easy. Okay, cool. SanDisk Ultra 32 ones. Here we go. Oh, look at that. They're putting it up and up in price. That's crazy. However, look at the bestseller ranking. That is obviously, so they had their price low for when they were ranking. If you can see that, that was probably then. They obviously sold out very quickly. They probably wanted to buy some more, and they stayed their bestseller pretty much the whole time, except for a few little blips every now and again. So if your product has more than 999, you can look in here and you can actually see how they're performing. And obviously, if they're up there, then they are performing very, very well, and they are selling a high amount of units. So this is a really, really good little trick. I would really recommend using it. It's completely free to use. That's great. Good to know. Yeah, it's completely free to use, and it will just help back up and particularly look at your competition in terms of their selling price, because I found out my selling price was a lot higher than I was selling it for, and I wish I'd found that out earlier. So you can look at what other competitors do when they launch their product, so you can just pretty much copy what they do, or play around with it a little bit more. So guys, this is a massively important of tracking your sales. Okay, so for your product to the basket, add in 999, see how many they've got, track it, write it down on a piece of paper. That's what I did, and then put it into a spreadsheet so you can work out formulas and stuff like that. Just keep a track of it, and that will give you a really good idea about how many you're selling per month or how many they're selling per month, and if it's going to be a good investment for you to do the same. Don't just rely on Jungle Scout, and don't just rely on those sorts of things, because they are estimates. Always back up with this sort of stuff before you buy. Guys, if you have any questions about this video, then leave a comment below. Reach out to me in any way you'd like. If you would like some support with finding your product or whatever it may be, if you're looking at getting into Amazon, then if you do buy Tanner J. Fox's course, which is Amazon Seller Mastery, through the link in the description, I'll give you my personal one-to-one support with stuff like this, just making sure that you can get to the point where you're selling as soon as possible, and for a product that is going to be as profitable as possible as well. Alternatively, if you are selling on Amazon already and you just like some support and some help, I do offer consultation calls for 20 minutes or 45 minutes. You can do that from my website, and I'm more than happy to help you out, or just reach out to me with an email. I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, guys, if you've seen this before and you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've never seen this, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think. If you're in your product research stage, do this right now and start doing it for the next 5 to 7 days. and just let me know if it's been useful for you. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.